Can you give us an insight into how David works, how he relates to players and what he's like as a man manager?
He was always very, very good with players from that side, on the training ground particularly. You know, getting his message across, getting the message across and what he would want from his individual players, individually and collectively, I suppose, as well. That was his one big strength, I always felt. And I think he was that focused and that intent on getting the best out of the squad of players that he's got, bringing them together as a squad as well, which he was always very, very keen to do. I think he always seemed to get the best out of the players that he had at his disposal, whatever their ability. You know, maybe some might say that certain sides he's had have overachieved, but I think that was the mentality that he brought to the players, the willingness that he used to put into his own methods, but also the belief he had in his players as well. And I think that used to shine through on the players. They used to draw from what he used to bring to them, and that was why I always feel he's had the success he has, because of his openness and his willingness to listen and learn.
I suppose the similarity to Everton is striking now. He doesn't just have the chance to build a team, but almost a club as well.
Yeah, I think as an outsider looking in now, you realise that the size on the job that he's got to do here. It's been very, very difficult for every Sunderland manager over the last 10 or 15 years since I've left the club. So I think he probably knows it isn't me to tell him that, but it goes back to the point is that I feel as though that if there's anyone that can build a club, that can build a squad of players together, and also bring the whole club together, supporters and the staff that's around the club, there's no better man to do that, I feel. I think he can really generate a good atmosphere here. I think he can generate something special. I think he can create something special. I think he can do big things. And again, it almost seems like you're biased in saying that, but it's from experience of working with him and knowing what he's done with certain players, not just myself, over the years.
And potential is a word that's been, thrown around with Sunderland, but David really seems to be buying into that and taking a long-term view of what can be achieved here.
I think it's got to be a long-term view here, because I think as it's been proven over the years, there's no short-term fix. The difficulty is maybe that short-term fix that's always worked, but it's never worked in the long run. So we've always seemed to find ourselves back to square one with it. So again, he's proved if given time, he can create something. He can create a legacy going forward, and you just hope that would be the case here. Yeah.
And just in terms of obviously West Brom this weekend, a difficult game, but one that the club needs to take the positives from what's gone before as far as they can and go into on a high as much as possible.
Well, realistically, you target this game at the start of the season as a home match. You'll think, yeah, we can win that game, and it's not being arrogant, it's not being overly confident. That's what the players will think going into this game this weekend. That's what West Brom would think themselves if they were at home. West Brom, if they come away from the Stadium of Light with a point, they'll think it's a good result. So the onus is on Sunderland to go and win the match. That sometimes can create its own problem, because you might leave yourself open and exposed to a side that, very much of a defensive-minded team that sit in, try to maybe score goals from set pieces or counter-attack. So it goes without saying that you expect to win your home games, regardless of who comes here. But there's a real chance, there's a real opportunity really you feel as though at the moment it just needs that turn, it just needs that one bit of good fortune, something to go for the team. And if it goes this weekend, I'm convinced that they could go on a good run and start to really excel. And even the players that's here, players have got experience of being in relegation battles, so they don't want to have that again. But if that is the case, they can draw on past experiences and take that forward. So there's a lot of reasons to be optimistic, regardless of what so many doom and gloom merchants might actually say.